Welcome to African Voices Platform TV. My name is Tchiyiwe Chihana. My guest is Smart Banda, who is a digital storyteller, amongst many other things that he works on, including SBC Theatre, Migration Matters Festival, and Roots Mbili. Welcome to African Voices Platform, Smart.
Thank you so much for having me, Tchiyiwe. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming. Finally, we get to have you and get to talk more about your amazing work. A good place to start from is you're a digital storyteller, but what else are you?
Oh man, that's really an interesting question. Where do I even start? I think with digital storytelling, I think for me, it's always been about finding this balance between like expression and play, because those two things are very important to me. And for us who are like a bit introverted and stuff, communication is not always like, there's so many modes of communication, but visual communication is something that has always come naturally to me.
Right.
So whether it's like designing a poster or a magazine or a film, any mode of storytelling, I think that's come more naturally to me for my work to speak more.
Yeah.
And for that to be a vehicle for my mode of expression.
Yeah.
Rather than like just talking about it.
You just want to show it.
I think so. I think so. And so I think it's more than just visuals. For me, it's about like bringing those elements together of like, can I be myself? Can I bring something of myself, my culture, the values that I have to it, and how do I visually communicate it to the world that they may understand a bit about me or the organization that I'm working with.
Wow. And your output is always on point, very aesthetically pleasing, but you didn't always start from here. I don't think, did you stumble upon being a digital creative because you are in the IT world, business world? How did you get into this space?
Yeah, so it was rather an arduous journey because, as you said, at the time, first of all, I'm from Zambian heritage. I grew up in Zambia.
Yeah, Team Zambia.
Team Zambia. And I came here when I was about 10 years old. And I grew up in a very mainly like academic focused family. Mm-hmm. So even though creativity was there, it wasn't necessarily the mode of focus. Mm-hmm. And so I think I didn't really get into it until I was quite older, I suppose, for my age, usually people get into it when they're quite young. I went to university and I studied IT and business management, which was a really good course. But upon finishing my studies, there was this question that dawned on me of, is there more? What is there to me? Yeah. And so this leads to the soul searching journey that, you go on. And I realized that, through that I actually really, really love visuals. I love films. I love photography. I always tell my friends this story, but I remember looking at the old Windows PCs, that had the backgrounds, back in the MSN days, those beautiful backgrounds on the Windows computers. And I kept on thinking, man, I wonder how that was captured. And eventually that's what led me to, getting my first camera, it's been history ever since then, and that sort of opened up this world of creativity, and from doing photography, I really got into trying to understand how Photoshop works, and image editing, and then I realized, oh my God, like I could actually edit text with it. And then it's like, how do these advertising agencies make posters or make this or make that? And it opened up that world into graphics design. And
because I remember the graphic design.
So I worked for a number of organizations, just interning for a while, and I had a really amazing mentor who mentored me for several years and taught me everything I know. And very, very grateful to this individual, because when you some people go to uni for it, but for me, I went to the School of Hard Knocks. It was just like
real life experience.
yeah, you know, it's like
job.
you learn on the job, you sort of earn your way up and you learn all the skills and it comes organically. And I think there's something quite nice about that, because the way I think about creative problem solving is very different from maybe somebody who's come from an educational background from it. And also with the business experience that I have, I'm able to, I think, do more front-facing work with organizations. So yeah, it's been amazing to sort of have that unique perspective of like, coming into this world that maybe I would have never been part of. But
I'll tell you one thing that I remember the most for so that was the first year that I remember you actively getting into the job of doing digital stuff for Migration Matters Festival, and you could not understand the chaos of creatives. You really wanted to have a hard line of that structure that speaks to more of the background you came from.
1000%. And I think that's,
you didn't understand
it. What is this world, you know, and all these weird and wonderful, quirky people who are just so loving. But I tell you what, one thing that really stood out about my time, especially that first year starting out at Migration Matters, you know, I was going through this transition of my life, you know, getting into new work. And it wasn't necessarily like an easy position, but like having friends who are also creative from backgrounds like theatre, music. It was just like a world that I wasn't necessarily used to. And as you said, the chaos of it is like, but magic comes out of that chaos. It's more like, you know, organized, intentional chaos.
And having said that, you're currently the person that actually leads on the digital and photography and all that jazz of migration. What a journey.
It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful journey. I mean, what an amazing legacy to have to do work, to get to do work like the one we do, you know, celebrating migrant voices, celebrating our differences and helping those things unite us is an amazing thing. And I think being able to be behind the creative and visual branding of the festival is just such a privilege to be able to contribute in that way. You know, I get to work with some of the best people around in all different respects of life, people from just the most diverse backgrounds that I would have never imagined myself being. And it's just a testament of how rich Sheffield is as well. So being able to sort of showcase that to the world, you know, on our doorstep, on our social media, or when you walk on the streets and you see our posters, or, you know, anything that you do when you go to a Migration Matters event, it's just the richness of that is beautiful. And I get to be part of that. You get to be part of it. Then for people outside of the smart thinking, when we're looking at, so if you so when I touch the brochures, the Migration Matters Festival brochures, I see you because this is what you do, you know, part of the major things like or the typing up or the setting and you know this and saying how it should look eventually. And you know what, Tchiyiwe, it's really interesting because obviously most people will see a magazine or a brochure, but there's so much more that goes into this. You know, it's a very diverse festival, and you know, accessibility is important. The way people see things, it's important that you know different types of people are able to access this. You know, we have people from different backgrounds, people that don't speak English, people with neurodivergent needs, and just being able to be able to cater our visual branding to every kind of person is really amazing. It's not an easy job, but there's a lot of intentional thinking. Of course. So, you know, myself and the team, Sam Holland and John Rothenberg, and Leonie, and the rest of the wider team, we spend a lot of those months at the start of the year really thinking about that and really thinking about, you know, yes, we've got the program, we've got the amazing artists that are coming, we've got the communities of Sheffield being showcased, but are they being showcased in the right way? Is what we're doing going to make a difference? Is it going to do due diligence? And it all comes in with that. The strategy's there, but then the execution of how do we present this strategy to the world? How do we present ourselves to the world is really,
yeah. And you sift through all those images, you decide what will work for that. And then after that's happening, once the brochure is done, you're there getting ready to say, how many videographers do I need? How many photographers? Is that what, I mean, we're talking about?
Of course.
How many events did you have this year?
Oh man, I think we had more than 40 events
so almost
this year.
50 this year.
In most years, in previous years, we've had up to 60 events, which is a tall order. But I think there's a lot of refinement going on. We're entering a new season. Obviously, it was our 10th year.
A big one.
Which was a big milestone for us to enter. So very excited to see the next season of what goes on. But yeah, a lot to consider.
So how many photographers, for example, do you have? I know you've got volunteers.
Yeah.
Because that's really your baby. When we're thinking videographers for the festival across all the venues, we're thinking photographers, that's you.
Oh man, yeah, the operational side of it is really, really important. And myself and John always at the forefront, we're thinking, like, how can we make this happen? How can we make sure that this festival is captured in the right way? How do we ensure that the organizations that we're working with feel like, they've been part of that journey? So I think photography, videography, all that stuff is part and parcel of it. Obviously I can't take all the credit because I think there's such a big team effort involved that not one person can really like just do everything. But I'm really glad that I get to be a key part of that and get to be a part of being behind the strategy of making that happen. A lot of it usually starts on a spreadsheet.
I know, it does, and then
but then it ends up into this.
When you're an audience member, or if you have the luxury of just hosting events like me, no longer having to do the thinking, you just wait and see it all happen and play out, and you're just like, where are my photos? Where are my videos?
And we're like, they're coming.
They're coming.
But yeah, no, it's an immense privilege, and it's just, for me personally, the festival Migration Matters has just really opened up my world. Most foremost, like personally, it's just really opened up my world as a person, the way I think, the way I view the world, and the way I view how diverse Sheffield is, because I grew up in one part of Sheffield. Okay. And, for so long, I was like in this middle place of, I don't know what's going on in Sheffield. Do I need to leave? I need to feel like I belong in this place. Meanwhile, this festival has been going on, since 2014, I believe. And I joined in 2019. So for all those years, I was thinking, man, like...
Do I need to exit Sheffield or something?
Do I need to exit Sheffield? And I remember talking to some creatives, Desiree Reynolds, who's a legendary poet in Sheffield. And I remember sitting down with her and meeting up in a cafe with her and saying, I'm really thinking of leaving Sheffield. And she was like, no, hold up. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And she's from London. She stayed.
Absolutely.
But in your staying, you've gone on and just done. So let's talk about SBC Theatre. You're well branded today. Talk me through it.
Yeah, so as you can see here, I'm wearing one of the T-shirts.
Did you design that?
This was designed by our participants. So Standard Be Counted, we are basically a grassroots charity, an arts charity that works that does work with and for people of Sanctuary. And our job is essentially to facilitate an environment that people of Sanctuary can come together, learn new skills, learn to communicate with one another, find a safe community where they can thrive and just be themselves, be creative. And so any creative endeavor that they want to do, we've got them.
I thought it was young people, so it's just anyone from the migrant community.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, so we work with a very broad group. So there is our Youth Theatre of Sanctuary, which is any from 0 to about 16.
Okay.
And we do all manner of amazing things.
Those are very visible. They're doing so much.
Our Youth Theatre Sanctuary School is really thriving, and we have many members, and each each weekend there's always a challenge of, you know, capacity, and how do we broaden our capacity to have more and more people join us. You know, so that's a beautiful and wonderful challenge in itself. And then we have our soapbox group, which is, you know, age from 18 all the way to early 30s, you know, mid 30s.
What's the soapbox?
So soapbox is a creative group. It's essentially like a platform for expression, confidence building, community, you know.
Yeah,
I think most importantly it's just how can we form a community, because for a lot of our young people when they come in, they've moved from one environment, or they've migrated into Sheffield, and they are trying to find their feet, trying to start a new life here and trying to meet new friends. And we just want to create an environment where they can thrive.
Oh wow!
They
So
can be creative.
explore what you want to explore as a creative.
We're not really trying to, you know, dictate what they do or how they do it. We just want to be to say, hey, we're here. Whatever it is that you want to do, we're here. If you want to find friends, you want to make new community, you want to be more creative, or gain new skills, we're here. We have creative facilitation that we lead every Thursday, and you know, everybody is welcome.
Okay. So we'll get more into some of the stuff that you've done, but one that stands out for me that's not necessarily current is a few years ago, at the height of the pandemic. So in my other life, we did stories from the pandemic and at the museums, and the young people that were there in the videos came from SBC Theatre. You did some of that work, I believe.
I did. I mean, we do such a plethora of work. I think for me specifically, I started working full time with SBC during the pandemic, when everything was sort of shut down, and the challenge of, you know, how do we keep moving? How do we keep spreading the good news, you know, in this time where we're incapable of moving, we're incapable of like going anywhere, we're stuck inside. What are the tools that we can use to be able to sort of like send hope to the world and teach people about this very important subject? We made some short films with our participants. We've made documentaries, made some short films. Worked with an artist called Taf Mchenje. He's Zimbabwean background, and I did a documentary with him following his journey, dealing with, or his account of dealing with the hostile environment of the migration system in the UK, and basically followed his entire journey into sort of pleading his case to not be deported out of the country. So something really deep, but finding like a lens of hope there. And as you know, with all the Black Lives Matter stuff happening in that period as well,
so
there was so much, so many connections at that time that were like, that made it so important to have POC creatives within this sector of what I do, like digital design. And I just want to say also there's so much room for a lot more of us. Because I think sometimes I will speak for myself because I've experienced that, but I have a feeling that it's also some of the wider. It's just there's some boundaries there where maybe some of us don't feel like we can necessarily like cross into those rooms, especially digital design, you know, web design, graphics, anything that's like filmmaking. We need more PLC creatives, especially in Sheffield. So,
and for the audiences, POCs, people of color.
1000%.
And Smart, you say that, I totally agree with you. There's so much. There's so much about storytelling, which is really the umbrella of everything that you're trying to do. There's so much about storytelling that's so nuanced that we need to be able to do our own storytelling rather than somebody else doing that storytelling. Walk me through the current projects though of SBC Theatre, because there's quite a bit that you're doing, and I would love people to know, and at least they can come to you guys for some
1000%. So I'll start at the most current. You see the shirt that I'm wearing right now. So we we as part of Migration Matters, we did a fashion project.
Okay.
It was
This year's Migration Matters
this
Festival.
Migration Matters project, Migration Matters Festival. We did a fashion design project that ensued in us presenting a fashion show at Migration Matters Festival.
Great.
And as part of that, we designed these wonderful T-shirts that are designed by our Soapbox group. We did a Sanctuary T-shirt, and we did a Salam T-shirt, which is sort of a slight nod to...
So these are not football jerseys? They've got nothing to do with
These are football jerseys,
okay.
but they are our take on a football jersey. We really think that like football has the propensity to bring people together.
Yeah.
But also more than just the game or the love of the game, it's about using that platform to send the right message. And I think sending a message of peace and love, you know, and sanctuary and showcasing these voices and how important they are in our communities is really important. So, you know, not to just mention all the stuff that's going on in the news at the moment,
but just to be branded,
but just
to represent it
to say, hey, this is what we stand for. You know, all the really awful and traumatic stuff going on in Palestine and around the world. We want to stand with those communities and say, hey, we are here, and this is what we stand for. These are our value systems. So I think working with our Soapbox group, this is the message that they wanted to send, and obviously,
so timely,
it's very timely, but I think it's also important. So these shirts are online on our website, and you know, if anybody from the community or our wider community wants to get themselves a
so anybody
shirt,
can wear them. It's
of
not
course.
just for. Does SBC Football Club exist, or is that just?
Oh, we do exist.
You're playing football. You're playing football.
We're trying to form a football league club, you know, like for purposes, because I think sport is a really great way of connecting people, and we always insist on, you know, creating environments where our people of Sanctuary can just thrive and just be themselves and just have a normal life, normal friendships, and do normal things with their friends. And you know, if it's playing football on a Saturday or Sunday as part of a five-a-side club or whatever, we want to be able to do that, or, you know, empower any dreams that they have. Our youth theatres students, they love football. A lot of them want to be football stars one day. So it's been amazing, and we've done like wonderful workshops as well with Kazna Skar. So we work with Kazna Skar as part of the fashion show. She is a renowned she's a renowned fashion designer who was showcased at London Fashion Week at the start of the year in February. So our Soapbox crew got the privilege of being sent out to London Fashion Week, and they were out on the, you know, on the
London Fashion Week. You guys are not messing about.
We are not messing about. So they were busy, you know, providing entertainment. Some of them were doing a bit of catwalking and just like bringing the energy to the crew, and got to wear actually some of her amazing pieces as well at the fashion show at Migration Matters Festival.
And that was at Leah's Yard, was it?
That was at Leah's Yard,
like bang in the city centre.
Beautiful environment, by the way. Just a beautiful central environment.
And also a place that any other person could access and goes to. So that means the message is being cascaded, because sometimes we're in these echo chambers. But I think when you take it to somewhere like Leah's Yard, everybody is there. Anybody who is anybody in Sheffield accesses that. Was that the response you got, or am I just making assumptions?
Well, look, it's very imperative that every kind of person is represented in different spaces in Sheffield. You know, we should all feel welcome, and I feel like Sheffield does do a good job of trying to make all the environments quite accessible, but I think adding some actions to it, like actual actions that ensure that people feel comfortable, people feel at home in these different spaces is amazing. So us taking over Leah's Yard for a night and bringing in different voices, bringing in like people from different backgrounds, like even after the show and festival, people have this mental message sent that, hey, we can come here. This is also,
This is
we're also
awesome.
welcome here.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important that we do that, not only just through like events, but also through how we are visually communicating things out in the city of Sheffield, and making sure that representation is correct.
What about Mini Migmat? That I always assumed Mini Migmat was exclusively done by SBC Theatre because they're so visible there. But it's how does that work?
So Mini Migmat is just such an exciting. It makes me like just so happy because
See, you're glowing,
like seeing the young children just being their absolute best, being the superstars that they are, is amazing. And the idea came from just wanting their voices to really be heard, but also trying to understand what it is that they want to see more of.
At a festival such as Migration Matters Festival or other festivals, really.
Particularly,
Particularly.
so they get to curate the shows, the children's shows that they want to see. They get to do workshops and get to work with artists that they want to work with. In the past, we've done big, massive storybooks. We've done we've done all manner of creative things. We've done shows in the middle of the city centre. This time round at Migration Matters, we were at Midsummer Festival, where we did, where basically they were focusing on the theme of what does it mean to be your own superhero.
Goodness, that sounds brilliant.
So they got to make their own capes, their own superhero masks, and basically got to explore ideas of how they save their own community.
How many days was that, the Mini Migmat? Was
the
it
Mini
through
Migmat
the
is
festival?
throughout the festival, but it mainly, I think a lot of the events happen on the final weekend, which was the 28th of June, where in the morning, we had like workshops with our fashion designer, Kazna Skar. We had a workshop where she was doing jewelry design, and they got to make their own personalized jewelry.
So Mini Migmat had
Migmat.
Kazna, who is a London Fashion Week designer, just sitting down with the young people of Sheffield and making...
Yes, and excuse me, Kazna is Sheffield-born and bred.
I did not know Kazna was Sheffield-born and bred.
She's incredible, absolutely incredible.
Right.
Anybody who wants to know about our work should look her up. She's on Instagram and our website as well. But absolutely inspiring artist, and for her to get to work with our kids, designing jewelry, and designing gifts for their friends, it was amazing. And then after that, we did a football making T-shirt design workshop with our friends at Among Good People.
Is that what's this?
Yeah, so Among Good People is an organization that it's a charity basically, and they design football T-shirts for charities. Okay. So we've worked with them to design these wonderful T-shirts, but they also did a live workshop where they designed T-shirts with families on the day.
Where are they based?
They're based in, I think they're based down south. Don't
so did
get
they?
me correctly.
Okay, but they came up. They were here in person.
They
were
came
not
up to the
virtually
north.
here. They were
in
person with the young people.
Yeah, they came up in the north, and they were with us for the festival. And honestly, they do such an amazing job. And you should have seen the kids' faces, the young people. And it wasn't just the young people; it's also their parents.
Even you.
Yeah, so when you're seeing the press being done, the young people get to design their own T-shirts and choose their own marks. So there were like marks like this that were designed and things like that, and they get to use this press machine that will then press all their designs on this T-shirt. It was just so magical. And then seeing them wear the T-shirts. By the way, if you go on our social media, Standard Counter Theatre, you'll see all the magic happening there.
So that logo there for SBC Football Club, has it been in existence, or did it get made this year?
This was made literally like a couple of months ago by our Soapbox group. So this is almost like a crest badge that it's an ode to Palestine. So if you look at the colors, you got the red, the green, and the black, and then you've got the symbols inside, which is like you've got an earth sign there, you've got love, and then you've got football, which is like bringing the world together through love and football.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
I didn't see that one coming. Now I'm emotional.
Yeah.
But let's move.
let's move on.
Let's move to the train. You guys were having fun on some trains
Yes,
recently. What was
yes.
that?
So, amongst other things that I'm doing, I got the privilege of working on with Bradford 2025.
Oh, right, the City of Culture.
The City of Culture, yes.
Ah.
And they're doing this really exciting rendition of The Railway Children, which is really a story about migration.
Okay.
It's about migration, community, and a story of welcome. So as part of that, SBC, our team, we basically were tasked with the chance of making an audio immersive adventure that goes on a steam train. So as part of the show, imagine you...
Wait,
Yeah.
pause there.
Yes.
Does SBC Theatre, I know it's a Sheffield founder, but do you work across
Oh, yeah.
the country?
Absolutely. So we are regional. So we do our
Yorkshire
programs.
regional.
Yeah, Yorkshire region. We do our programs in Sheffield and across Manchester and Greater Manchester, Oldham, and then in Bradford. So that's where we've sort of been doing our work at the moment, and
Well
hopefully
done.
we'll
We're
be expanding.
exporting as Sheffield. We're
Absolutely.
exporting.
So we're
So
bringing
talk me
some of our
through that
DNA
then,
into the north.
places. Yeah.
So basically, we delved into that as part of the project, and as part of the Railway Children production, you get to catch this wonderful steam train, in Keighley.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
like they were having so much fun.
Absolutely. So you catch this steam train, it takes you all the way to Oxenhope where the show will then take place. But as you go along this half an hour train journey, you hear, as you walk into the Keighley station where the train journey starts, you hear the voices of the train conductors who are now our participant, who've taken over the train station and the train. So basically you get to hear their voices and they get to teach us about what sanctuary means.
Okay.
How we can create more environments of welcome. They teach us how they welcome people in their language. They teach us what welcome means to them, where they're from. They teach us so many different things about what welcome is. So as part of that, we basically designed this cute vintage box, and it says The Railway Children, and if you scan this, I should really show you, but if you scan this, you get to see some augmented reality. This little box comes to life, and you got to see also the beautiful artwork moving around, and the children and the families get this little vintage suitcase box when they enter the train. And within that, we pack it with a bunch of goodies. So within that, there are some things that I designed as part of that. We have like a beautiful little postcard, which you can send a message of love and welcome to a friend or to somebody in the community. And then
words of welcome.
Yeah, they got these tickets also that were made by our participants and inspired by them. So this is a ticket that you get when you jump on board.
Oh wait, so this was drawn and
Yes,
then you printed it out.
Absolutely. So you get one of those when you jump on the train. And then we also designed a newspaper of sanctuary called The Welcoming Times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Let me
and
have a look at
this
that.
showcases our communities in Bradford, and it's got all sorts of wonderful news about the communities that we're working with, who were part of this project.
All eyes on the good people of Bradford.
Absolutely, and if
They're
you
not
open it
sold on the
up,
planet.
you'll be met with a lovely surprise poster, which comes to life actually. So when you scan it, it becomes interactive and it comes to life. If you stick it on the wall and you see it, and it's just so beautiful. And I was just like it's just really amazing to get to be part of that, to design, to work with artists who are very creative and talented, who get to do that. And lastly, this was my favorite thing, which was letters, love letters to Bradford. These are handwritten letters by our participants. They each wrote a letter to a person in Bradford that will receive this box, and they get to take that home and keep that with them as a keepsake. So for me, it was just really wonderful.
Oh God! So did you print what was handwritten?
Yes.
So each box comes with this.
Yeah, so get this. They are, each day, each show hosts about 500 people.
Oh my
So
God.
over the course of the summer, there's going to be about 30 to 40,000 audience members that will see this show, and each of them will hopefully get to take one of these home with them as a legacy, to show them what Sanctuary is about, to really get to spread the good news about the work that we're doing, but also just showcase the communities that we're working with, which I think is the most important thing.
Yeah, quite significant, very poignant. So on the train, because I get the part of the drivers or whatever, pilots or whatever, the voices, but on the train journey itself, how long is that one, and what do they do at that point?
So when audiences get on the train, they hear these wonderful voices saying, welcoming them on the train, and telling them about where they're from.
Okay, so it starts from the beginning.
It starts from the beginning, and we hear the voices of all these different amazing people from all different parts of the world. So we have people from the Rohingya community, the Rohingya tribe. We have people from India, China, North Korea, all sorts of places who are then infusing themselves into this work, and you get to hear their voice, and they get to tell stories of Sanctuary and welcome across that half-an-hour train journey that gets to Oxenhope.
30 minutes.
Yeah, and so this is like in preparation for the show and what the show's about, because what is really impactful about the show is it's been adapted to represent an Asian family, actually.
Okay.
So this is an Asian family migrating into this new environment that they've never been to, and the story just unfolds from there. I don't want to,
people should probably see it.
I would
still
definitely,
on, right? When does
it's running for the next 3 months. For the next few months until September, and I would say it's probably going to be one of the best things that happens across the year.
So the messaging with this is so important. I'm curious. It being QR code and all, I'm thinking, Smart, you're probably the person who is best seeing the clicks or the visits, and how is that looking? Are people actually visiting? Is this occurring?
We launched the Railway Children Immersive Experience just this Monday past, and the turnout was incredible. We sold out, and we had 500 people join that journey and see the play for the first time. And across this week, it's just been going and getting better and better. So we're hoping that by the end of it, just that this message will carry through, and this will have a lasting impact on people. And also, talking about legacy is just like really documenting that joy, really documenting the impact that this has had on people. And part of actually us getting feedback back is through these wonderful little postcards that some people can write a message either to us or to maybe a friend, but when they write them to us, they get to share them on social media. We get to know and get some feedback on the impact that the show has had on them. And and I think this is really beautiful. So we're looking forward to sort of seeing, once the show has ended, just how much of a difference this work has made to people's lives. So very excited.
Well done, and congratulations to everyone involved in that work. It's brilliant, I think.
Absolutely.
Shall we talk about you going on a bit of an international tour very soon?
Yes. Gosh, as if what we've talked about, we're just getting started.
And that's the thing with creators, right? We find ourselves in so many spaces. Before you know it, you're like, how did I get through the year having done all that much? But here you are. It's your brilliance that gets you where you are.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to a bit of a holiday break stint and just going away. But when we do get back into the new season in September, we are basically going on a international tour.
So we being Roots Mbili Theatre.
The Roots Mbili team. This is me now putting on my your
other hat.
I mean, it's such a privilege to get to do so many different things and, keep my brain sort of engaged in different communities because, Sheffield's been my home for most of my life, and getting to give back to the community is just so important. So this is another way. Like, Roots Mbili was birthed in Sheffield. It's a trio of myself and my partners, John Rothmack and Sam Holland, and we all have worked together in different capacities and just championing each other. But this is really the brainchild of us all, and really excited that we get to go on this trip and take the show Far Gone and take it to the world. The show itself was birthed in Sheffield, so it's only right that we start the tour here in Sheffield.
So I have to say, it's only we just filmed the episode with John Rothmack. So we do have a bit of context. And what I really wanted to hear from you is the vision for the digital documenting of this journey of Far Gone, the play.
So I'm very excited because my role here is to produce a documentary piece that will follow us along the journey, starting in Sheffield, going all the way to the US, and then Taiwan.
It's crazy.
And then going to South Africa, and then finishing it all off in London. And it's basically a story of documenting how far we've come across that journey. It's a documentation of the love we have for the work that we do, the love that we have for each other, but also showcasing just how far along we've come. So it's not necessarily just gonna, I feel like it's a vehicle to showcase Far Gone, but really it's more about really us as the story of Roots Mbili, and really showing the journey that we're on. So I think there'll be moments there that are, of joy. There'll be moments there of like, what are we doing here in the middle of nowhere? There'll be moments where we really band together and have intimate moments as a trio and as a team.
I saw that you were in New York with Lines, the three of you, and I could see the intimate moments, as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on this one, because it's a bigger one, and this play is quite significant. It's exclusively yours, whereas you are collaborating on Lines.
Absolutely.
But I wonder, what form will it take? Will it be a film? What will it be? How do you envision it? Because you're the vision carrier for that.
So I think for me specifically, the story does come first. So we are in the processes of planning it out and planning the journey, looking at all the logistics. But for me, I'm just really honing in on, okay, what are we really trying to communicate to the world here? We know that the work that we do is absolutely stunning, but I think often people don't get to see the fuller picture of the day-to-day of really what is involved to creating a play, but also seeing it go onto the global stage and seeing how much hard work is involved in that.
And who the players around it are. You forget the sound people. Of course,
there's
forget
so
the digital
many elements
people
to it. Of course, there's so many elements to it. So I think I'm looking forward to sort of showcasing and delving deep into each of those elements, the sound design, the direction of it,
movement. I love all that,
all that beautiful stuff that we haven't really had a chance to really show.
I'm running out of time, believe it or not, after all that. A few rapid fire questions for you. Your favorite image that you've ever taken?
I think for me it is the image of Far Gone. The portrait I took of John, it's like this wonderful, beautiful image of
powerful.
Yeah.
Most memorable performance you've captured?
I would say it is some of the stuff I've gotten to shoot on Migration Matters. It's just
I want to say
incredible.
Sean Kuti on your behalf, but I'll leave it.
I would say Salty Soul for me.
Salty Soul.
That was incredible, and just
Beautiful.
being able to be part of that and capturing that was magical.
Smart. It's been amazing talking to you. There's so much you're documenting, and thank you for being that person that helps us archive some of this stuff so we can refer back to it, document it, so we can see it. It's been lovely talking to you. Thanks for joining me on African Voices platform.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. This is African Voices platform. My name is Tchiyiwe Chihana.